And I went, oops. So when I met the president, we had I want to say an hour with him. It was fantastic. It was very informative. I'll get into that in a second. But at the end I said, I have a confession to make. I said, I think I invited your son, and maybe I invited him at a time where it wasn't really any of my business about whether he should go or not. He said, that's okay, we'll handle that. So, they're both very full-on parents, which I always found very, very encouraging and exciting. And I found both of them to be very warm, very down-to-earth, made us all feel very comfortable. And we asked questions, and obviously we asked questions about the H1N1 virus, and we spent quite a lot of time talking about that, and he showed me the graphs of how things are now under control, and that very frightening period for a fortnight, and he shared some of his own personal feelings about that, and was very candid to me about those tough decisions which he had to make, and it was, I found, very refreshing. It's easy for any of us. I mean, I'm a voter like you. I watch the news, I read, and you see them make speeches. It's very gratifying to have the opportunity to talk to leaders in these times of their country's life, which is critical, and to hear them talk about how they felt, to hear their honesty and their candour about the tough decisions that they had to make, to feel the heartfelt feelings about what was going on in the country, and to people who were suffering from the virus, to the things that I'm sure that many people, even in Mexico, don't know, the things he was doing behind the scenes, and the things, it was very inspiring. And all I can say is, from an outsider, I feel like you all have someone who cares deeply about his country, deeply about his people, and I felt a sense of relief with him to know that what could have been far worse had become under control. And anyway, they're my impressions of my time with him, and with the First Lady, who was also, I spent a bit of time with her before we saw the President. Very down to earth, and there are things I want to say which I probably shouldn't say. Things I asked her, but that would be overstepping the mark. But she's very, very real, and obviously a mother first, you know, and that's, I found, very gratifying. And it's a beautiful, well, we would call the White House, but it's, how do you say in Spanish?
Los Pinos.
Los
Pinos.
Los Pinos. Oh, yeah, Los Pinos, the pines, yeah, the gardens.
The pines.
I asked Luis Felipe if he found any secret spots in the garden. He says, yes, down the back. He's pointed down the back. And when I mentioned to his mum, I said, you know, I asked Luis Felipe about any secret spots in the garden, and she says, yeah, yes, down the back. And I thought, it's the same the world over. Mothers know everything. With tattoos, a very short haircut with long hair at the back. We call it a mullet. Right? And he was a rough character. And let me just say, my wife used to say to me occasionally, don't take your tattoos off today. So it's fair to say she quite enjoys every few years when the mutton chops come back on. But my daughter is 3. And she went up to the poster in the bus stop. It was this poster, but it actually, yes. She was doing this. She go. Look at this go. My daddy, too angry. Too angry. My daughter thought I was too angry. But she plays with me, and we always have a little bit of a wrestle every night, and she goes, come on, Daddy, I just... My son doesn't talk to me about it a lot. All his friends obviously know me as, well, they know me as his dad, but now they're starting to know me as Wolverine, and they're 10, so they're really into it. So I think he just likes to keep me as his dad. However, the other day, my son, he looked over, he goes, hey Dad, 2 o'clock, hot chick. Like that. 2 o'clock hot chick. And he goes, don't you think they're hot? And I said, no. There was like 3 14-year-old girls. I said, look, they look very pretty, very sweet. I don't think it's really appropriate for us to be talking to them. And he goes, oh, whatever. And he walks straight over to them. And they're not much further away than you. And I heard him say, hey, you know my dad's Wolverine. And he brought him over and he goes, hey Dad, how about a few autographs for the girls? He knows.